So, good morning or good night, depending on where you are in the world, and welcome to another interview of the Shield Dude on a Couch. I'm your host, Hector, and today I'm joined by Michael Orlando or Mike, and you
Like
may know
good.
him from many bands, but we're here to promote a new band, a new supergroup, if you will, called Category 7. So, Mike, how are you?
How you doing, Hector, man? It's a pleasure, man. Thanks for having me. Great to be talking about Category 7. Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm from Puerto Rico, so when I hear Category 7, I get scared.
Oh, gee. All right. Yes, absolutely. I see why.
We know what Category 7.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't think
God,
it
God.
exists, right? I think there's a Category 5. Category 7 does not exist.
I don't believe a Category 7 has hit. Yes, that God forbid that
Oh
would.
my God, but they're about to do like a Category 6 because things have gotten like so bad with hurricanes. So this
Oh,
is a super group that you have John Bush on vocals, you have
yeah.
Phil Demmel on guitar, you have yourself on guitar as well, and you have in the drums, you have Jason Bittner from Shadows Falls, and you also have Jack Gibson on bass. So
Yes.
yeah, this is a very great super group, and Jack Gibson from Exodus.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Jack.
So
The
this
mighty
is
Exodus.
yeah, this is the example of a super group by a definition. So Mike, because when I got this promo, I'm like, when did this happen? Because I actually talked to John Bush like 2 months ago,
Yeah.
talking about Armor Saint, but I didn't know that he had I think he mentioned he was working on more stuff. So tell me, how did you guys got together?
Yeah. It started with myself and Phil Demmel. We years back we always said, hey man, we got to do something together. We became friends playing in this Randy Rhoads Remembered show that we used to do. I used to do a lot of with my buddy Brian Tishy and the Rhoads family, and Phil was on a few of them, and we became friends. And from that point on, at the end of his tenure with Machine Head, I believe, we were just talking about it. Yeah, man, definitely. It's at some point we gotta do something together. It would be great to team up. And there you go. A couple of years later, it started to happen. And then we met with Jason Bittner one night. We're hanging out and we're partying, and like, this is the band right here. This is the start. Let's go. Let's start this now. And that's how it came together. Right there. That was the real start of it.
Awesome, and
The
now you
music
should tour
name.
with yeah. You
What's
need
that?
to tour with Kerry King, since Phil also plays with Kerry King.
So Phil is in Kerry's band now, and everybody is, yeah. Jason's in Shadows Fall and Overkill, and John is doing this. But soon we will meet, and it will be Category 7 time.
Yeah, and obviously, you got John Bush on vocals, which he's got a very distinctive set of vocals. So far,
Yeah,
for people who haven't heard the band, there are
yeah,
two singles right now that
yeah,
you can listen to. There's In Stitches, which opens the album, and oh
yeah,
my, that's a great song. It's fast.
yeah,
It's not only fast, it's catchy, earwormy, and John Bush vocals on it are great. And the other one that you have is Exhausted, which
yeah,
another great track. So, uh,
yeah. Thank
so
you.
yeah, and I know that you engineered and produced this record, right?
Yes, yes. I had
Is it
the.
right there?
Yeah, yeah. This is Sonic Stomp Studios. Yeah, it says I'm sitting at the console, and the drum room's behind me, and yeah, I had the extreme honor of being the engineer and producing it, mixing and mastering it. What an incredible selection of guys to work with. Honored is it's that word isn't enough. John Bush, just when you talk about the songs and after we had gotten John on board, that's where the sound really came into play. He is just what can't I that hasn't been said. He's absolutely amazing as an artist, as a lyricist, as a vocalist, as a person, man, just incredible across the board. What he did to the songs, was incredible. I think In Stitches or Land I Used to Love might have been one of the first ones. And as soon as that happened, for me as a writer, it was like, man, once I had him in my sight, it was like, all right, you write for John. That was my vision.
So the music, you try to write the type of music that would fit well with his vocals.
Well, for me as a writer, I always want to know, it's great to know your, your end point, or have something in sight, to write to. So we had some music, and myself and Phil were working on the tracks, but 2 songs in, I think once we had confirmation and John was on board, yeah, it was much easier to write, knowing that it was, the amazing John Bush on the other end of it, writing to it. So
yeah. So how was it for you, the recording process for this? Being a new band, I'm guessing you don't have. I think it's good for writing as a new band because people have no expectations. You're free to do what you
yeah,
make, or did you have like a deadline? How was that
yeah.
process?
It was completely open. Yeah, like you say, there was no, we need to sound like this, we need to do that, it was really just, myself and Phil writing music, and sending it to John, and just, it was real easy. The whole process was completely free and open. So as it should be for any artist, you should be able to just create something that you really feel passionate about, and and just kind of put it out there, what
Yeah,
you hear.
yeah. I think I like a lot the last song, which I think is like the longest track, like at 8 or something minutes.
Oh
Ether,
yeah,
Ether
yeah.
Storm. Talk a little bit about
Eder
that track.
Storm. Yes. Eder Stormin is an 8+ minute instrumental that ends the album.
I know, yeah, it's like an instrumental, but
Yeah,
it's great because it feels almost when you're listening to it, uh, maybe from the Caribbean, it feels like a storm.
well, there you go. It definitely does take you on some turns and spin you around. But even though it's an instrumental, it's a song. You get into it, and it carries you through those 8 minutes. Again, with the whole album, it always is, song is king. For me as a writer, and Phil will agree, and John, and everybody. It's got to be a great song there for the listener to enjoy, and especially an instrumental, because it's harder to carry someone through it with no vocals and no storyline and lyrics. So us as guitarists and drumming and bass, we have to carry the song, and I really feel Eder Stormin is a special song on the track,
And
on
I
the
think
album. I'm sorry.
back in the 80s with metal, a lot of bands ended with instrumentals because Metallica had a few albums where they ended with an
Yeah,
instrumental. I
yeah,
think not so much now with a lot of bands, they don't do a lot of instrumentals.
yeah,
But if they're like very modern sounding, there's just so much of like like noises that you can hear
yeah,
without
yeah.
without music for so much minutes. So if you play that one live, that's the perfect time for John to go to the bathroom.
We're definitely playing it live, and yeah, it's great for him to just take a breather. I mean, he's out there, every time he performs, just giving it 10,000%, man. I'm sure it will be a welcomed, take a seat, chill.
Yes, let me let
you
me
know,
let me just chill for 8 minutes while you
yeah,
guys play. Uh,
absolutely.
so how did you come up with the name? When sometimes coming up with names. Why? How did you say like let's name ourselves Category 7?
I think it started with some kind of, you know, I'll say a storm, or some kind of a tsunami or something like that. Something powerful. We were trying to match, the feel of some of the tracks, and the stuff definitely has a powerful sound to it. And I think it just, it evolved from there. Really, just that was the premise. Just some type of powerful entity. let's say. At least from every guy in the band might have a different,
Yeah.
definition of it or story about it. But for myself, yeah, it's just something that has some power and is pretty, not destructive in a bad way, but
No,
good
no, I
music,
know.
music
It's
in a
just
great way.
a stroke,
Yeah,
like a musical storm.
yeah, yeah. Perfect. There you go. I'm stealing that.
Yes, you're a musical storm. So, how do you feel, Mike, about the term supergroup? Because I know there's some bands that are like that. I remember the last supergroup that I really got into was Velvet Revolver.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, incredible,
yeah,
incredible band. I don't. It doesn't bother me one bit. I don't take it for anything else. Then it's if someone wants to call us that, I appreciate it. It's an honor. Um,
it's better. I would be pissed if someone called me, "Oh yeah, that's a has-been group." If someone,
hey, that's great. That's great. I like that. I
if
never
someone
looked at
told
it
me
that
that, I'd be like, I'll be like, or like, "Oh yeah, that's the boomer group."
way. You're starting from here, so you got a lot to go. When you start here, you better make sure it's
Yeah, I know because the term supergroup has been used a lot. I don't know if you remember. Do you remember there was a show on VH1 where they were trying to do a supergroup? It was you had like Scott Ian from Anthrax, you
yeah.
had Bastian Bach, and you had
Oh yeah,
Ted
yeah. I
Nugent.
remember.
And I'm so glad that that supergroup didn't take off.
Yeah, yeah. This is that is a real contrived thing, maybe. Whereas this was kind of just natural, and I
Yeah.
feel when it comes together and it does have members. I mean, the members of this band have such a legacy,
Oh
you
yeah.
know, in their careers. So I get the term. I would hope that the music does the talking. That's all.
That,
I would hope that if someone wants to label us, it's because they heard it and they hear it, and it's not just the members of the band. So I don't mind it at all.
yeah, and also with super groups, if it's forced, and also just this is like I compare this like to an NBA team,
Yeah,
just because you have great names on it. Like I
yeah,
remember 20 years ago when the Lakers got, they brought Karl Malone and they brought Gary Payton, and it was like that was like a super team, and they
yeah.
lost the Pistons. So just
Uh,
because you're all great doesn't mean that there's going to be like a chemistry.
Absolutely, and that's why I say the song, the music's got to do the talking eventually. You know,
Exactly.
yeah, you know. So
But I
I
do
think I
listen to
think it
this.
does. I think we do. I think
No,
the
you
music
guys
does do
do. I
it.
listen to the record and everything meshes well together. I think the drumming, Jason is an amazing drummer. I think from Shadows Fall, he doesn't get as much love, but he's a great drummer. And I've seen Shadows Fall live. So,
Oh, Jason's amazing. He's one of the greatest drummers on the planet. Not only what he plays, not only his technical ability, what he does in the song, and how he crafts it throughout the song. Working with him and seeing his, he's not just like, well, I did a fill there, let's cut it and put it there. Everything is methodical. I did this because this is the next part coming, and then this. So he's really, intuitive in the flow of a song, and technically he's incredible, but it's
oh
also
yeah,
musical. He's musical, and not only in Shadows Fall, he's killing it. For the last several years in Overkill. So the
oh
guy
no,
can play. He can play anything. It's amazing.
yeah. So I want to show the artwork for the debut record, which we haven't said comes at the end. It's in July 26th. It's coming out through Metal Blade Records.
Yes, the mighty Metal Blade. What an honor to be on that label. I
Yeah.
love it.
Yeah, that's a great label to be. So here's the you know what I like this cover? It kind of looks like a movie cover or like a
Yeah,
PlayStation game. Like tell me about like, the inspiration for the album cover.
yeah. Again, it's just that incredible musical storm, so to say. That's kind of that perfect storm scene, from
Okay.
that movie, and that was kind of the idea. But of course, the cities and bridges in the background, and just a great visual, great artwork from this artist in Brazil called Carlos Fides, and just amazing. Yeah. If you really get into that artwork and go close up, the detail, the attention to detail is incredible.
Oh yeah, it really looks cool. And that's New York City. So I think there was a hurricane a few years ago that went to New York, which is strange because there's not usually goes to New York.
Yeah, I'm from New York, and we got hit with it, Hurricane Sandy. It was horrific. You know, so just took houses and into dust. Got
Yeah, no,
so horrible, so horrible.
no, I get you. I know hurricanes, so yeah, they're not an easy thing. But yeah, this,
I don't even have to tell you. God, it's
no, you don't have to tell me. But yeah, no,
I,
this is a cool artwork, but it kind of looks like it would be a movie or a
yeah,
game. So yeah.
that's the idea. Yeah, that was definitely the idea, to have something, really, visual as that, where you could really kind of look into it and go in the back and look at all the buildings and stuff. But yeah, and on a huge backdrop of a stage, I think it will look pretty
Oh
bad.
yeah, on a stage, it will look cool. It will
Yeah,
look the background. So
yeah.
working on this album for you, which song, as a band as a whole, was the most challenging to put together?
You know, I don't know. I mean, Eder Stormen was just the longest, so maybe it was just more crafting. Maybe it just felt that way because it is an 8.5 minute song, I think. That might have been the one. Everything else, really, it just came pretty natural to us, and I would say Eder Stormen. Yeah, just because of the complexity and the length of it.
Yeah. And something that I liked about this album that it's not, it's you got a mixture of new wave of British heavy metal, you got thrash, punk,
Yeah.
traditional heavy metal, everything into the sound. So it's not like you guys I would categorize you as a hard rock metal band.
Absolutely. I agree 100% there. I know there's so many labels and genres, but at the end of the day, for me, it's music. It's
Yeah.
heavy music. You want to label it rock, hard rock, metal, heavy metal, whatever. It's cool. Just be grooving and slamming and pull you in. And I think we're definitely more of a hard rock
I would say hard
slam
rock, yeah.
metal. Yeah, I would say, but there's some metal in there. If you listen to it in Stitches, man, it's rocking, so I'm fine with hard rock as long as it's good music.
Yeah, I think that today there's so many labels that sometimes I think people are just inventing shit.
Yeah, yeah, I'm not I don't even know the names of all of them. There's so many subgenres. It's great for me. I just love music, all kinds of music. So as long as it's good for me.
Yeah, no. So the album's gonna be out roughly like in a month from now.
Yeah.
What are the plans for the band when the album is out? Because I know everyone has a busy commitment with other bands. So what are
Yeah.
the immediate plans for Category
Yeah.
7?
We're absolutely going to come out and tour everywhere we possibly can. It's just a matter of when we're going to do it.
Logistics.
Obviously, obviously, like you said, everybody has commitments to other bands, but there's going to be a time where we're definitely going to carve out the calendar and get out and keep carving our spots throughout next year to tour, because we all want to tour everywhere with this. We're all super excited about this. So yeah, it's going to be great. I can't give you a time yet, but we are working on it. We have great management and a great booking agent, and everyone is super excited, and a great label, so we can't wait to get out there.
Yeah, and you can name the tour the Upcoming Storm.
Man, that's two I'm gonna steal from you.
I'm giving you ideas. Like a storm coming too near you.
Yeah, that's it, man. Yeah,
Yeah, and like I'm just like the intro of the band could be like a storm sounds.
yeah. Oh, without a doubt, it
Yeah,
definitely would be the album cover. You'd see it, kind of, or spots of it, and it would start with the ocean and then everything. Sure, yeah, I see it perfectly.
yeah, nice. And hopefully this is just the first album of more to come, because Yeah,
Yes.
the album is really good. I would recommend this album to. I
Thank
think
you.
there's a like if you're like this old school heavy metal guy that says that nothing good has come out since 1989.
Yeah.
you,
Yeah.
you can
Yeah.
like,
We
oh, there's no good new music here. You have a band that you can listen to. And I
yeah,
think young people can get into it. Like if you like hard rock, if you like all those types that we say,
yeah.
I think this is an album that has a wide audience range.
Absolutely. It's you said it perfectly, where it's all old school all the way, to new and young, and it's got I feel we have a fresh sound. It's not that it wasn't produced to sound exactly like this or like that or everything on the it has its own sound, which is what I appreciate as a mixer and a producer. I like that it's different and it's a little fresh
And I
and
want to thank you guys for not doing a ballad.
all right, you're
Yeah,
welcome. Yeah,
because
no,
sometimes you have the ballad, but there's no ballads on this record. This is kick-ass from front to finish.
yeah, yeah, it is. It is definitely it goes to fourth gear and it stays there.
Yeah, yeah, because sometimes I think with older bands, like people are used like there has to be a ballad. I'm like, I wonder every time in the 90s, every band, there has to be the power ballad. I wonder
Right.
like it was in the contract. You need
Yeah.
a power ballad.
It was definitely like that for a while. Yeah, everyone was putting them out and they're great. There's nothing wrong with them. We just had a statement we wanted to say and we kind of kept on it.
Yeah. So, Mike, I know you're busy doing more interviews today, so I'll let you go in a few minutes. So, before I let you go, what would you like to say to the Category 7 fans, or maybe people that haven't heard the band?
Yeah, I would say absolutely check out the new Category 7 album. As I said, the legacy of the players in it alone should pull you in, but I feel that the songs and the album will keep you there and keep you listening because it's just a really kick-ass collection of tunes and it's driving and it's powerful. Everybody is killing it, from John and Jack, Jason and Phil and myself. I feel we all brought it. We definitely brought it on this album. But again, in a cohesive, great way that serves the songs. So I think that everyone's going to enjoy the powerful sound of it, and I hope they check it out.
Thanks, man. So, again, Mike, I want to thank you for joining me virtually here on the couch here in
Yeah,
Puerto Rico. So, people, Category 7 out July 27th, Metal Blade Records. I'll post the link for people who want to pre-order that. So, until
yes.
next time, people, this is Hector, the Shield Dude on a couch, and I'll see you all right here on the couch. Thank you and goodbye.